A few days ago, we got a glimpse of the new Pokemon Gen 9 games. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are releasing in late 2022, and we at Beastcoast Pokemon are going to be going over the trailer and our thoughts about it. So, I guess first we'll start with our general reactions. I thought we would get a Pokemon game this later this year. I think it makes sense because a lot of the games they really like to sell in the holidays. Of course, it's when they get their biggest sales. I didn't expect it during February. I thought it'd be maybe like a May release, but yeah, I was actually pretty surprised and I liked it in general. I think it looked pretty good for the initial reaction. But what did you all think?
I
I
expect to be underwhelmed
sorry.
by Pokemon Day announcements. I didn't expect anything special, so I was going in taking whatever they gave me, and it was cool. I like it. I was a huge fan of Sword and Shield. I know a lot of people weren't. I enjoyed playing the games in kind of a new format, so I'm stoked for the future.
Yeah, I was going in without any expectation of a mainline series game. I was expecting something sideline, which is why initially with the trailer it looked like, oh, this is going to be Detective Pikachu 2, which I think they did on purpose. But no, I think the game looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the new region, and well, we don't have too much information, but I definitely want to play this game.
I feel like it's interesting because they're marketing it as like an open world game, like that's used in like the PR releases. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that
Yeah.
obviously is going to be a deviation. And so, I mean, for me personally, like I haven't really like been a huge fan of just like the casual in-game experience for a while now, but I think that's because I'm so tied to competitive. And so yeah, I'm really nostalgic for like the older gens, but that's because those were my first Pokemon games. So I'm curious to see how they like switch up the formula a little bit, and I'm sure they have a lot to take from Legends Arceus and all the success that game had. So you don't have to copy the formula, but I think that was obviously very different as a Pokemon game, and I'm eager to see what like comes out from Legends Arceus to the new games.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention that. I think that, that we haven't had a fully open world main series game, and taking influence from Legends Arceus, it's going to be cool. Hopefully they take all the good stuff from Arceus.
Well, let's be fair. Arceus is a mainline title. Did they use the open world in the PR for Legends Arceus? Because I know that they said that it was akin to something like a what's the game called? The Capcom one, Monster Hunter. With the way that the worlds were structured, I'm curious if it's going to be more open than that. That's basically it for me.
I think one thing that's new about this game is the hype for all the starters. I feel like out of all the starters we've seen throughout releases in the past, I feel like this one, like there are a lot of favorites, and I feel like there aren't as many complaints about the starters. All of them look fantastic, I think, and there's a lot of hype for all of them. What are your favorite starters? Mine would personally, I'm okay with all the starters. I don't think I have like a preference, but there is one thing I do like, and that is Donald D.
Donald D. Yes, Donald D. Quaxley. If you are not part of the Quaxley gang, you are no longer my friend. Not a friend anymore. Get out. No, this Pokemon is amazing. I love it. Of course, it's going to be water flying by the end. I mean, obviously, it's going to be like a Swanna or a something like that. But yeah, I want it. I want to.
I love Fuecoco. I've loved Fuecoco from the moment I saw him the first time. And I also love his description on the Pokemon site. It says he's a laid-back fire croc that does things at its own pace. So he's just out here straight chilling. So I'm all about Fuecoco.
I like that they describe it as a fire croc Pokemon. It makes me think, all right, so they're not going to go towards the dragon type. Initially with the design, I was like, they've got to do fire dragon with this. Like, please.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between Quaxley and Fuecoco, honestly, but this is honestly one of the first gens I can remember where I look at all three starters and I'm like, I like all of them. Like, I genuinely,
Yeah.
I know some are more popular than others, but overall, I think the designs are neat. I saw a lot of memes about the grass starter and how it's just going to be like a grass Incineroar, and they're going to make it broken and give it fake out and incinerate. So hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, no, as long as it doesn't go bipedal. Like, if the evolutions look anything akin to, like, Naturia Beast and Naturia Exterio, editor, put those on screen so the people that are watching this understand what I'm talking about. I think we'll have a good evolution line for it.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron. No, I don't dislike any of the starters, and this could be like, I don't know, a decade from now, we could look back and be like, wow, really, really solid starters for Gen 9. And there's not many generations I typically say that looking back at.
Yeah. Last time I said that was Gen 5.
All right, so we saw in the trailer a few Pokemon that were coming back. However, there's a new form here. Hisuian Zoroark is actually going to appear in a main stage game, and that might signal that Gen 9 might have some of the Hisuian forms coming to the game. And it's interesting, I think, Zoroark being shown because I thought its Pokedex was like it was extinct or something. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that we'll have new forms. What do y'all think about the new forms? Because Hisuian Zoroark is obviously really cool if it's typing specifically. Illusion could be really cool if it does get access to it. And I think like a lot of the new stuff could be really interesting, specifically the Gudra if it's brought. However, what do y'all think?
I think that the Pokemon that are going to be in this game, the other forms from Legends Arceus will be available for transfer, but it just wouldn't make sense if you could catch them in this game. At least, in my opinion, it wouldn't make sense.
They could maybe write in something in the story, like, you know, this Pokemon was thought to be extinct and it was found on, you know, X area or whatever. But I think it's awesome that the Legends Arceus Pokemon, the Hisuian Pokemon, will actually get to be in a, you know, like a main game with VGC involved and everything. Especially Hisuian Zoroark, like James mentioned, the illusion thing. But I'm kind of with Meatball. I think it'll probably be transferable through home. But Hisuian Zoroark, I feel like they picked that specific to be in the trailer. So I don't know. Maybe it was just to like tease us and show that there will be Hisuian.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'm just eager to see, like, obviously these Hisuian mons got a lot of hype with Legends Arceus, right? And it's like you can't really play with them competitively. And so if these mons do end up kind of coming over to the game, I think it's just fun, right? It's always cool. Especially, I really liked the, like, Alolan forms because it's, like, cool takes on Pokemon that, you know, I've always known and seen before, but never... just being able to use them in a different setting where they're very different from the original counterpart, I thought was really fun. So I always like alternate forms, and I think like some of the Hisuian forms have a lot of competitive viability as well. And Zoroark is one where I'm actually scared it'll be like too good if they give it illusion, because that plus its typing is just crazy.
Yeah,
that'd be so sick.
I would not. I do not envy the people that have to attempt to play around 3 immunities while also predicting if it's Zoroark or the actual Pokemon that's out.
I guess that's the thing, right? We don't I assume they'll be allowed in competitive, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't see why they wouldn't be, but you know, it's new gen.
We also don't know if Zoroark will get illusion because
exactly.
all these Hisuian Pokemon don't have abilities.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we also don't know if it's going to be part of like the regional decks of the, because usually with the first format of VGC they do the regional decks only and then expand it towards Pokemon that you can transfer in and such. So we could, but we'll see eventually.
Yeah, we've never had a main series game that's not exactly main series like Legends Arceus, where there's Pokemon that aren't available in the other games, right? So like this is like brand new territory, especially transferring Pokemon that don't have abilities in their typical game. It's all like a lot of stuff to speculate and look forward to.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll make a couple of new abilities for some of them that are transferable, but I'm sure some of them, like Zoroark, will probably end up keeping their abilities like Illusion.
Yeah, and then we obviously, Gen 9 is going to mean more competitive, both in the singles, doubles, and of course TCG. And yeah, it definitely could bring a lot, especially since one thing that a good friend Alex Gloza always says is like to look at the logo of the game, and there's usually like something you could look for the mechanic, and there is like kind of a symbol there, so we could be seeing a brand new mechanic and a bunch of other things that could be brought to competitive in general. So what do you all like to see in competitive?
Well, the fact that the logos are enveloped in yellow makes me think that this game's gimmick is going to be that Pokemon can go Super Saiyan.
How's that different from Dynamax? I feel like Dynamax is
True.
Well, Dynamax, they get really big, and then this working title of Super Saiyan, they just get really strong, but they say they're normal size.
Yeah, they just get swole.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I feel like speculating like this, I honestly have no idea, but I'll tell you what I want, or at least hope for. Like, Dynamax was a really controversial mechanic. I think James and I actually have very divided opinions on it, which I think is interesting. You know, a lot of very seasoned competitive players, like some people just really aren't big fans, others are okay with it. I'm kind of neutral about it. Like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. I know some players who are like, nope, I don't even want to play anymore until Dynamax is removed. And so yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I think the reality is that competitive players, like, you got to stick with the mechanic that they introduced for 3 years, right? So it's like you just have to adapt and figure out how to be the best regardless of whether or not you like it. But I'm just hoping it's something that is a little bit more maybe balanced. And I also, for the sake of like singles players, obviously, competitive VGC is like the rule set that we play, but I think like singles really got the short end of the stick during Sword and Shield with the 20-minute timer, and with Dynamax just like not remotely being a good mechanic for that. And so I hope it's something that caters not only to VGC, but is also allows for good singles plays and whatever other formats of competitive Pokemon that you personally want to play.
Yeah, Dynamax definitely was not balanced for singles play. However, I wouldn't mind it returning for competitive battling, like as an option. I don't think it should be involved in the main game, but I think the more options and mechanics that they involve in, if they bring back the Mega Stones, the Z moves, you can just literally throw anything at the wall and see what sticks, and maybe rotate out the mechanics through different formats. Since we're already at series 12 for Sword and Shield, so
Yeah.
if we keep having different series, we could see all of these different items and rule sets rotate through, and I think it could make for a really cool rotating format that keeps people coming back.
As a casual competitive VGC player, like I play ranked ladder, but I don't play in tournaments. I liked Dynamax at the beginning because I felt like I could make use of a lot of Pokemon, and like I could pick any Pokemon on my team to make stronger in a scenario. And so I liked that, and I would like to see something else. Like, it's a joke Meatball said, but like to make any Pokemon Super Saiyan, like give one Pokemon a boost for that battle or that turn or something. I think it's really cool from a casual competitive perspective, but I don't know about the hyper competitive players, how that would affect you guys.
That actually kind of reminds me, if you guys remember Generation 5, there was a mechanic called the Wonder Launcher, where you could basically build up points throughout each turn, and you could send out like the X items to your Pokemon through it in battles. It wasn't used that much. I don't think it was very competitive to people because they wanted to play without items and it be purely skill. But I think something like that could definitely be a mechanic that makes that kind of a reality without it being overly busted.
Finally, we have like wish lists of what we want the most out of these games, even not competitively. I think there's probably like a few things I would want wish list wise for the games itself. I wasn't a big fan of Sword and Shield's story. I don't know if any of you were, but I would like. I know you don't play Pokemon for the story mainly, but I would hope for like a bit better written villains, I suppose. I think that would be nice. I mean, I think it was Hop had the best development, I think, out of a character rival, but I would like a little bit better writing, I think. And
Legends Arceus had a great story, I think. So like just take whatever they did for that and do it here and keep running with it.
It was a little bit of a slog in the middle though, because you kind of just did the same thing 5 times with different wardens. I like the individual stories. Yeah, the individual stories were cool, but yeah, the gameplay loop didn't go towards the story very well. But I think that I hate to reach back to Gen 5, but that game really built up its villains extremely well, and I think there is a potential of being able to do something similar with a different topic and it be really interesting. So I hope so. I hope we get better villains.
Yeah, there's also like a few other things I would like. They're probably more lean toward quality of life and in general, like competitive wise, but I would like to see us being able to customize the rules for singles as well. Like we could change to have a custom amount of time. I'd really like spectator mode enabled, so it's like easier to set up spectator mode because you can only really do that at official tournaments. It's really like impossible to set it up for like online tournaments. And then finally, I would just really like some more quality of life. Like we had bottle caps, for instance, and hyper training for like IVs. I would really like it to be easier to get competitive Pokemon. Maybe a rusted bottle cap for like 0 IVs, or maybe like a way to, if hidden power comes back, like I don't know if they would ever bring it, but I would love if they do have someone that can actually change the hidden power, like an NPC, for instance. Like just ways to like easily get Pokemon or train them up, because it's not bad, but it definitely could be better, especially with the raid dens. If you're going for like 0 speed IVs, it's a real big hassle.
Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be such a like hard entry level to get into just competing at Pokemon VGC. Like, I'm not saying everybody should get in and be great at it, but you should at least be able to make a team without it being a hassle. And they've worked on that a lot, like through each generation. So it would be nice to see that worked on even more here with the rusted bottle caps.
Yeah, rusted bottle caps. I also think that because we have gold bottle caps, you could kind of do a different gimmick, like maybe a silver bottle cap that brings the IVs up to 30, so that in case they bring back hidden power, you don't have to have like an NPC that just changes the type that's just sitting there. That kind of is awkward. Just making bottle caps that go to 31 and ones that go to 30 to make sure you have your correct hidden power types seems like the best course of action.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they bring hidden power back, to be honest. Like, I feel like they removed it for a reason, and I can't see them turning
Yeah.
back on that reason. So,
It was a
but,
little
yeah,
bumpy.
I think I agree with everything James said. And for me, like, I really miss the ability to save replays. Like, it's a shame that like got taken away, and used to be able to do it at events as well. And so that's something that I felt like, I've just missed a lot. And also, I think for me, just a way to like enjoy competitive within the game. Let's not just like VGC battling, for example, you know. And so like you look at like the Battle Frontier, for example, right? Like that was just so robust, and like it was so cool. As a kid, I was like, wow, this is like really challenging, like genuinely really invested into it. And like the subsequent, you know, like battle towers and whatnot just aren't really very exciting, to be honest. And so a way to like really have like deep competitive mechanics and make some of the more in-game fun is really what I want. Because I think for me personally, it's like what you guys were saying. I don't play Pokemon for the story. If I want a good story, you know, RPG, I'm not looking at Pokemon, right? There are plenty of other games out there. But I like Pokemon because of, one, just the Pokemon itself, right? The history that we have with these, and then obviously competitive as well. And so just building upon those and making it even more fun, it would be my dream.
Yeah, I can't believe that like every game hasn't had a Battle Frontier. Like Battle Frontier was so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with Aaron.
Yeah, the last time that we had anything that was good was like the Black Tower and the White Tree Hollow and Black 2, White 2, which wasn't even as good as like the Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Emerald Battle Frontiers. So if they can put something on the level of that, if not higher, then I'll be pretty happy. But we'll probably just have the same Battle Maze on Paddle Tower kind of thing again. So, but we'll see. I'm not holding out any expectations.
And that's our initial take on Gen 9, the initial trailer. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you want to see in Gen 9 and all the new games. I think we've covered quite a bit of it, and we really hope for some interesting changes. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Check out our individual channels. And yeah, till we see each other again. Later.